Somebody take the social media button away from Donald Trump. Pissed off that he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize, he decided to go attack the Chinese. And by posting this long multi-screen missive, which I'll have to read to you, in which he attacked the Chinese for trying to flex their muscle and show that they alone control the global supply chain for technology, and that they were going to start putting massive tariffs on rare earth minerals, copper and zinc and lead and other things that go into magnets that are used in semiconductor production, automotive production, electric vehicle production. Once they did that, Donald Trump said, well, I'm not going to meet with Xi then, the Chinese premier. I'm not going to meet with him then. There's no reason to meet with him. He's been laying in wait. And the stock market went over the cliff, shedding $1 trillion or more in one social media post. I'm Michael Popok. You're here on Friday on Legal AF. It's time for Trumponomics, and Donald Trump having a hissy fit and throwing America's economy into a tailspin again. Right now, the tariff war between China and the United States is being won by China, who is eating Donald Trump and therefore our lunch. We have the rates already at 57% against Chinese goods. China has a 35% or 33% tariff rate against us. And it decided in the next round of negotiations to demonstrate its power, its economic power over the American economy. And so it announced that it will be putting major control tariffs over rare earth minerals, cobalt, copper, zinc, lead, etc. U.S. manufacturing, especially in the tech industry and the automotive industry, need all of those things. And they also need it for magnets, which goes into batteries and EVs and those types of things. In fact, the U.S. automotive industry has said they're going to start shutting factories if they are denied access at a reasonable price to rare earth minerals. China knows that. So it wanted to show Donald Trump what it could do to the technology supply chain with one decision. And Donald Trump fired back, said we're going to do high tariffs against China, and we're back at a Chinese-American tariff war that Donald Trump told the American people months ago was settled. Just to show you what's happened to the stock market, the Dow Jones Industrial Average just today shed 700 points, almost 2% of its value. NASDAQ, which has a lot of tech companies inside of it, worse, over 2.5%. The only companies that did well today on the stock market are the American companies that are in the rare earth business and who went up 14% because people are like, where do I put my money? I better put it into rare earth materials. Now, this fight between Trump and Xi is a losing proposition for the American people. There's an old adage, there's an old saying, when elephants fight, only the grass suffers. And we got two elephants fighting here, and we're on the wrong end of that. But this Chinese muscle flex, Donald Trump knew how to be coming. You think that China and Xi were going to allow the tariffs to sit at 35% for this long? And after the negotiations got stuck in the mud between America and U.S. interests, that's when Xi struck. Let me read to you from this crazy nutbag posting that Donald Trump did after he learned that he was not going to win the Nobel Peace Prize, obviously trying to put his ire somewhere else. He posted, "Some very strange things are happening in China!" ! They're becoming very hostile and sending letters to countries throughout the world that they want to impose export controls on each and every element of production having to do with rare earths and virtually anything else that they can think of. You know Donald Trump doesn't write these things, right? We know they don't write these things because Marco Rubio had to run into him with the Israel-Gaza resolution being proposed to approve a social media post. So he doesn't actually write this stuff, but let's continue. Nor are we confident that he actually wanted to post this. There's reporting that instruction he gave to Pam Bondi, the attorney general, to prosecute everybody and hurry up about it, that wasn't supposed to be that was supposed to be a direct message to her. Apparently, he's using the direct messaging to get around Presidential Records Act problems. But I digress. Let's keep going. Whoever wrote this that he posted on Truth Social, Trump says, nobody has ever seen anything like it. It would clog the markets and make life difficult for virtually every country in the world, especially for China. I've always felt they've been lying in wait, and now, as usual, I've been proven right. there is no way, there is no way, he says, that China is going to be able to hold us captive. The Chinese letters were especially inappropriate in that this was the day that after 3,000 years of bedlam and fighting, there is peace in the Middle East. I wonder if the timing's coincidental. I wonder if it's coincidental that you wrote this thing to tank the American economy after you lost the Nobel Prize. So he says he's going to have to do massive increase of tariffs on Chinese products as a countermeasure. That freaked out traders and brokers on Wall Street. And there goes wealth, wiping out all of this week's gains and then some on the stock market, which Donald Trump likes to point to as one of the indicia of the health of his economy. Well, his economy sucks. American people are suffering every day, and we know it. All you got to do is talk to people about their pocketbook, purse, and checkbook issues around their kitchen table, and you know that Donald Trump economics are terrible for the American people. He's been in 9 months. He took a healthy, vibrant economy handed to him by the Democrats, and he threw it into the trash can to reward his friends. The consumer confidence is way down as we go into Christmas buying season, if you can believe it, and holiday season. The inflation is up. Manufacturing is down. The production of goods and services is down. And he's cut off all of the information lines to the Federal Reserve so they can set an appropriate interest rate to help the economy. And now's the time to pick a fight with China. We just had Canada effectively work out a number of issues with Donald Trump when Mark Carney, their prime minister and former central banker who knows what he's doing, took Donald Trump to the cleaners, and that's a compliment, on tariff policy. So having lost his trade war, if you will, with Canada, Donald Trump's like flailing around looking for a new country to pick a fight with. I know, China, one of our major trading partners and who has control over a tremendous amount of the supply chain related to our technology that drives artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency. Donald Trump wants this to be an AI cryptocurrency economy. Not without the Chinese, it's not going to be. Not without their rare earth minerals. There's only so much rare earth minerals that we have in the United States. See, that's the paradox of the American economy. We make more than we use. We make more in quality goods and services, especially in technology, than Americans can possibly consume, especially in America that's in a stranglehold because of Donald Trump and who has choked out the life of Americans and their budgets. So we have to look to foreign markets to sell our agricultural products, our goods, our services. But Donald Trump is busy choking them off because of America first. And then wanting to brag, I brought in hundreds of billions of dollars into the Treasury in tariffs. You've spent $1 billion on your National Guards invading blue states. So let's just call it a wash. So now we're going to see what's going to happen next. But I think the lesson here is you can't trust a word that Donald Trump says. When he says he has a deal, and I think that applies right here to the Israel-Hamas conflict, when he says he has a deal and he celebrates it prematurely, he's very good at premature celebration, if you know what I mean, then we have to sit around and see what the reality in real life, IRL, turns out to be. Right now, the economy looks in the trash. Federal Reserve knows it. Donald Trump's Council of Economic Advisors know it. And the American people who have the pain at the pump and the pain at the cash register every day, they know it as well. I'll continue to follow it here. Thank you for joining Legal AF on Friday. Hit the free subscribe button and come over to Legal AF Substack. If you haven't checked out Substack, I think you're really going to love it, and you're going to love the Legal AF version of it, and where I do live reports twice a day to catch you up on all the stories, plus a lot of other amazing writing over on Legal AF Substack. So until my next report, this is Michael Popak. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.